know it's been a while since I've last streamed, but this one I thought I'd share a story and basically give you guys a warning for whoever clicks onto this video. I don't know, but so it's a story about Discord. So it's anybody who is new to Discord or who has been using Discord for the past few months, I warn you, be careful who you friend and be very selective of what servers you join, because you could make the worst mistake of joining a bad server. That happened to me a few times, and I'll tell you, it's something you do not want to go through. It's emotionally and so words to the people who ever click on this video. This is a story about Discord. Whoopee, Discord. Most people don't know what Discord is, but for those who are new to it or have been playing it, I've been using it, be very selective of your friends and those who you choose to be friends with, and be very careful with what servers you join, because it could downright be a terrible decision, because that happened to me. It's probably happened to others as well, but basically if you're not careful, you could have the same thing that happened to me. So think about nearly 2 years back. Not 2 years back, nearly a year back. 2019, well, it's still 2019, when it was 2018. I was brand new to Discord. No clue what was going on. Didn't know what to expect. And the server I joined was Shima's Discord. And I was there for a good solid few months. Like, I was enjoying myself. It was nice, it was fun. And then what ended up happening is, so, and I don't know who this guy was, but what ended up happening was drama started to surface in her server about two of her admins. I'm not gonna name who those admin are, but what ended up happening was they both were accused of basically being apparently they were admin, they were abusing their admin powers or something like that, or they would be basically like they would kind of do their own thing and kind of fuck over people apparently. And when I found out this information, I went to somebody who I talked to like a little, and they basically kind of told me that like, because I asked him who made him, and he's like some guy, and I was like, oh, do you know what happened to this guy? And he's just like, nope. So then Shima brought the drama to the server me and this guy were, and basically what ended up happening was I ended up like, because I thought about it for a good day when I heard what the accusations were, and I reached the conclusion, I'm like, that's actually true, because like if you look at them, like when you first join, you don't know who they are, and you don't know if they can be trusted. Like, and I'm sure the person who made the accusations had a reason for it. Probably a reason I didn't see, or they didn't see. Like, this is why, like, if you are an owner of the server, you must keep an eye on your staff. I do not care if they can run themselves, that you need to keep an eye on your staff. Because that is what I do. When I used to make my servers, that's what I used to do. And it basically is good, because then people can't do their own shit. So drama happened. The way it looks is I might have got banned from that server, but I really don't care. I really didn't like Shima. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, I don't like most streamers nowadays. I like a select few, but that's about it. But like, I just don't like most of the streamers who have a Discord who just do fucking jack all, like, for their server, like. And basically what happened, so another thing is why I didn't like it. So there was this RP chat that they had, and this is how I met a friend of mine, And what happened was, I think it was a few weeks later that she removed it. And me and my friend were really pissed off about this, because we were RPing in it. And she basically said it was inactive, like, because me and her were him were the only ones RPing, because everybody else really just gave up on the RP. I really don't blame him though, because the RP did take a dark turn, so I'm not surprised. But like, she didn't even give me and my friend a notice that she was removing the channel. She just straight up did it. Like, if you're gonna remove a channel, you gotta talk to the two people who are on it the most, because we were always on it. And that's how I reached, because they have like a little level thingy, and I got to level 40, and you receive a special rank, or a special little thingy roll, if you reached that high. And I did, solely because I was RPing. But like, that was a fun time. So then there was another server I joined, and I'm not saying this to diss Draskar, but like, so I joined Draskar's server because I was like, I have nothing else to do, and basically what ended up happening, and not to sound like a douche, but I'm gonna say it, and if Draskar comes across this video, or one of you guys shows Draskar this video, I really don't care, but like, keep an eye on who you join. Keep an eye on who you have joined, and keep an eye if they have alt accounts, because when I go into what happened, you guys are probably gonna think the same thing that I did. So me and this is how I met, like, I think my first ever boyfriend. So I joined. I'm new, don't know what the server's dealio is, don't know what it's about. Few weeks passed, wasn't talking because I was too nervous. I was a very shy person back then. And kinda, then finally I start talking, and there's this guy, and I'm gonna say his name because he is, I know most people, like, when they make story time, like, they don't give the person's name. Actually, yeah, no, I'm not gonna give them their name because I don't want to give that fucker respect, any fucking attention. So this is this guy, basically called, I'll call him Joe. So what this guy likes to do, so, and I didn't know this, but so, like, you go into the, like, the what's it called, the fucking music bot and shit, and play stories of, like, skinwalkers, fucking, like like cryptology and shit. And what he likes to do is pretend that he's the person it's happening to. So he would lie about that. And he would do it solely for the purpose of attention. And when we found out, we basically went and called him out on it. We were very pissed off. I was very pissed off because I actually was scared for him. Like, I actually was worried. And when I found out it was just a fucking lie, I was, like, pissed off beyond belief. Like, I'm not an angry person most times, but when that happened, I was furious because I basically what he did was manipulate my emotions to think that he was in actual danger. Like, I'm sure some of you probably have encountered that, where some people do that, but basically, and what happened was, we told Draskar told us that he liked to do that, but what kind of frustrated me the most, and I didn't really know because I was dumb back then, was that Draskar let him do it. Draskar didn't give him any warnings, didn't give him nothing. Just let him do it. Just let him keep fucking with people and just manipulating people's feelings. So after a while, kind of ignored it, but one of the mods that was there that I became really good friends with, came to me and basically asked me, told me about Joe, and I'm like, okay. And after what he told me what Joe does, I've never felt so disgusted at a human being. So what this motherfucker likes to do, and granted I can't provide evidence, but like, if you asked any of the people who were in the little group I was in, they will tell you the exact same fucking thing. So what he liked to do is he liked to pretend he was all depressed and shit and all suicidal. And me, I'm actually dealing with depression and somewhat suicidal. Like I understand that. It's not fun, but he would do it just for the sole attention to get attention. And what would make him feel better was ERPing or forcing himself on other girls. He would harass girls both verbally and sexually in Discord. Me and I think it was 4 other friends decided to make a small little group, a little group to basically gather evidence and then finally put a stop to him. And what ended up happening was we did gather quite a bit, but one of the things that happened was, like, he didn't care if he got caught. Like, he didn't care. Like, he didn't care. And one of the worst things was, so me and these people were talking, gathering evidence, and what ended up happening was, so me and them, we also made a DM. And so what ended up happening was, then I became friends with somebody else. We'll call them Sally. And basically what happened was, I got invited to a server. And so did this guy and another guy. And basically, that's where shit all went down. The owner was a complete control freak. They wanted everything this way, they wanted everything that way. Always threatened to kill themselves. Always threatened to delete the server. And so forth. And me and my friends that were there, we were getting sick of it. And they kept telling me to not call them out. At one point, I started a mutiny because I was sick. I was sick of how they were running it. Like, full on, we demanded changes. And like, and basically what she took it that as, he took that as, I should delete the server because you guys don't see it my way. I'm like, you're basically letting people do whatever the fuck they want, causing other people harm, and you're sitting there enjoying it. We were trying to put a stop to that. So, but at that time, what ended up happening was the four of us in the group, me and this other person, but I will call out that them breaking is complete bullshit. You are not fucking broken. I won't treat you like you're broken. You never will be broken. You act like it, but you aren't. If anybody, out of anyone in the scenario I have to say I was the most broken person there at the end of it. What happened was, so I got into a relation, so I was in a server, and I met this girl, who I ended up finding out was a guy. And we ended up getting into a relationship, and what ended up happening, my dumbass decided to bring her to the server that I was in. And what ended up happening was Joe saw that me and him were a couple, or me and her were a couple, because I had to keep that quiet because I didn't want people to know. But kind of saw that we were dating, and basically what he would do was go to her DMs, and they would end up ERPing all the while. And another fucked up part is I know some of you are gonna be like, what? And basically what my BF currently right now likes to do most days is not tell me. He will not tell me things, what he does. But so they would ERP, and then this other guy, I'm gonna call him Bob. So Bob ended up becoming good friends with Joe, and basically what happened was they made my life a living hell, both mentally, emotionally, and it ended up getting to the point where I was starting to show physical symptoms. There were points where I couldn't stop crying, where I would just break down, have full-on meltdowns, because I basically was getting cheated on, and they wanted to hide it. They wanted to keep it hidden, and when I would find out, I would just crumple. Like, that was a very rough time for me on Discord. And basically also this guy Joe and Bob, they're both horrible people. They're both disgusting. If you ever, and their Discord names were, I'm gonna say the Discord names, I don't care. If you ever come across the name fucking Ace or Tony, do not talk to them. Do not even give them attention. Do not, because they will use you, they will manipulate you, and they will rape you. Because they don't give a shit. But the thing is most people know about them, but if you see it, do not touch it. Do not go after them. Inform whoever owns the server. whoever owns the server that they're doing some shit they shouldn't be. Because it will only turn into drama that isn't needed. Because I suffered so much. I lost a lot during that time. You will lose a lot. I lost a lot of friends that I thought were my friends. But after they started doing shit, they basically were lying and saying shit, basically manipulating others to think me and my group of friends were bad. We were trying to do the right thing. We were doing what we thought was right. And and I do agree with my one friend. We did suffer quite a bit, but and he even agrees with me that I suffered more than the others in the group, because I was their point of attack. Their goal was to attack me, to break me, and they did break me. I was to the point of literally killing myself because I couldn't handle it. My heart just was so fragile. And it didn't help that my partner didn't fight back. My partner would just let them do what they pleased to her. And I couldn't even look at her. Couldn't even talk to her most days because of it, because I just saw the person I loved cheat on me. But this is my warning to you guys, to people who are on Discord. Like, if you see stuff like that, just be aware. Be aware of what's going on and what needs to be reported. Because if you do the wrong thing, you could end up destroying other people's lives. And trust me, like the internet today, is Discord can come back and bite you in the ass. So just be careful of who you friend, and be careful of what servers you join. Also, there's another server I want to address, and I feel like I gotta address this server. If you got, and I will say their names because these two need to stop. They seriously need to stop. So there's this person server called Risa, and her fucking her boy toy.
Hello, Agent.
And if anybody decides to go to her server and say I said this shit, go fucking head. I don't care. They deserve every bit of heat for what they fucking do, because it is, to any sane person, you don't fucking say the half the shit they say. Like, so what basically happened was, I got adopted by this one guy as his child, RP child anyways, and one day I just got so fed up with how childish Riza and her boy Ty were being, I didn't even need to give a reason why they were childish. They were straight up being childish, and I'm like, why do I need to give a reason when it is plain as day you're being fucking childish? And I give a reason, I'm like, I don't need to. Like, you've given enough proof to everybody here that you're being childish. Why would I need to give a reason? Like, even the one person who I looked up to as a brother even agreed with me that they were being childish, and I'm like, yeah, like, why would I have to give a reason when it's plain as day? Like, come on. And then, so I ended up leaving that server, and then a few months later, I joined back. Just see what's going on, and then while I was in Shima's, another person, call her, just call her Toga, basically came to me saying there was accusations against me. And I asked her, what are the accusations? And she said, you just need to go apologize to people. And I'm like, okay. I go apologize to a few people that I needed to, but here's the thing is, I had no clue who I needed to apologize to, no clue what the accusations were. At one point, I got so fed up with them, like, if you're not going to tell me the accusations, get the fuck out of my face. Don't ever talk to me again, and tell those people they can go fuck themselves. If they're going to make accusations, fucking tell me the accusations so that I know what to do. And don't fucking be cryptic about it, because do you think I'm supposed to? I'm a fucking 16-year-old kid. How the fuck am I supposed to know? I don't care. Because at that time, I didn't give a shit who I pissed off. Either they deserved to fucking get flamed, or they deserved the fucking... I didn't give a shit, but, like, that right there, be careful, you guys. Like, if you get accusations from unknown parties, ask for the accusations. And because I basically was getting accused of somebody else's accusations, and they were dead set on accusing me, and I told them that doesn't sound like me. Yet I was still accused anyway. This is why I stopped. This is why I periodically do not go on Discord anymore. This is the reason I left all of those servers and just decided to literally just not even join any other server. I got so sick of the bullshit, because, like, you can't just accuse somebody and then not give reasons to why. Like, I got so sick of it, and those who are friends with me now know. So after a while, when I went back to Riza's server, basically what happened, like, oh, you here to cause drama? And I'm like, no, I'm just wanted to see what's been going on. So, and then what I did was, I basically mentioned how some people got stabbed in my state, and how I felt for the families that lost them. And what Riza's boy toy decided to do was make a fucking a dark joke, and like, I basically went off on him of how he basically was disrespect, because dark humor can be funny depending on what the dark humor is based off of. But like, he's like, oh, you probably don't even know who those people. I'm like, I don't care. I live in a fucking small ass town. I still feel that sadness that the families are feeling that they lost their loved ones. Fuck off. Like I was very pissed off, and I basically called him out, basically saying, like, you're disrespecting the dead. And the thing is these people live in other countries. Because Discord's a international talking app. And they're in different countries, and I'm like, and her boy Tyler lives in fucking America, because he has an American accent. And I basically kind of was like really pissed off about it, and the person I looked up to as a sibling, basically came to me in DMs and said that I was in the right and he was in the wrong, because I basically called him out, and I basically was so pissed off that I ended up leaving, and I don't even care if I got banned. Like, yeah. So another Discord story is, be careful if you join an RP family, because that happened to me, and I got fucked over in the end, and it really pissed off a few people who were very close to me, and basically who understood what I was going through at the time. So the person I met in Shima, after a good while, they ended up becoming my RP mom, and another person, I'll call them Ink, was also my RP mom. So a few months pass, nothing happened, nothing too big happens. Next thing you know, I find out my first RP mom is single, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I was really sad and the thing was, she didn't tell me right away. But when I found out, I was absolutely devastated. I basically didn't stop crying for a good while, because she basically didn't even bother to say goodbye, just straight up left. And the people who know about what happened to me back in the past, people who know my past when I was younger, will understand why I kind of broke down in that situation. But and she kind of went downhill with me as well. That is a bald eagle, oh my god. But sorry, I got distracted. But basically what happened was, it ended up kind of being shitty. I did get I got invited to the family server, and it was nice. Got to meet basically who were my family members, and there's one person in particular that, well, there's two people in particular that I got really furious with, because I was in the right. And because the people you talk to about this, they will tell you is I was in the right, because like, so basically when I got invited, when I got to meet my grandpa, quote unquote grandpa, where I no longer talk to them, well, I'm no longer a part of that family, but basically at that time I was really far down the rabbit hole, and that's an expression we say in my IRL family, as in we're very, very depressed, or we're not doing so hot. But so, because at that time I was getting harassed by my stepdad, my stepdad's friend, and it was just a clusterfuck. And I know my stepdad's gonna deny it, but he basically, I was, I think, 15 at the time, basically was harassing me, and I didn't feel safe in the house with him around. Like, I was actually scared. So basically I was depressed, and I didn't know how to kind of channel it correctly, because I was 15 at the time. And so I would get yelled at by my grandpa or my grandma, and basically my grandpa would take me to DMs and basically lecture me of things that didn't help me. Like, they didn't help me at all. Like, they were more of, like, he basically told me just to suck it up. Like, I don't know how to put it. He basically just told me to suck it up, and I finally had enough, and eventually, but after a while, he made a help chat, kind of threw my problems at the health chat, but, and at the time, I was, like, RPing as a fox girl, because I was weird, and I'm strange, but I did a little thingy, said, because, and the funniest thing is if it was meant as a joke, like, if you got the joke, because the person who's my RP mom right now was my aunt at the time, and they knew what I meant by it. But so basically what I did, I was like, goes back to whole, because get it, I was a fox at the time, a fox girl. Foxes live in dens, so technically they live in a hole in the ground, or like a hole somewhere. I thought it was kind of funny because, like, hey, Mother Nature, I'm making a joke here. No, he basically got really pissed off about it. But so that was, oh, I'm stuttering, motherfucker. So yeah, but another thing is I've actually left that. I've left that server like twice. The first time I left was because somebody named Levi there screamed at me because I was depressed, and I would show that I was depressed, and I would like some support. I got screamed at, and I was so done with it. I'm like, you know what, fine, I'll leave. And basically what happened is my aunt screamed at him, like, literally basically gave him a very nasty DM message, because, like, basically explaining that all I really wanted was just love and support. A few people out of that server gave me support, love and support, telling me, hey, it's gonna get better, you just gotta keep trucking along. And that's when I became friends with, before I even knew them, when I met my soon-to-be boyfriend, because somebody who was my RP cousin basically told me, and I noticed this right off the spot, like, they didn't talk at all in that server. They would rarely talk because they didn't know how to, because so basically before they met and said, hey, you should go talk to this person, I was already talking to him. I was like, told him I was like, I'm already talking to him, and they're like, oh, okay, and I'm just like, yeah. What ended up happening is they got really pissy at me, my RP cousin, and I honestly don't know what I call it. I don't know what I did for cause them to get so pissy, so I kind of just backed off, didn't give a shit, and told them, you know, and because I blocked them, because I didn't want to fucking deal with their shit, and then unblocked them after a while. Next thing you know, they are so pissed off at me that I blocked them, and they're like, "How about I return the favor?" And I've been blocked ever since by them. But another thing is that I'm trying to think, because this was a good while ago. I can't remember. It's been a good while since. Yeah, I'm trying to remember these stories. Even though I kind of fucking hate them because I did deal with them and it was stupid. But, so, yeah, that was a struggle. I could go into more context, but all I can say is at the end of it, I basically was disowned by a few of the people who were considered my RP family, except a few people, because they saw that they basically understood me as what happened. And by the end of it, it was basically just a clusterfuck of just people being straight up assholes to somebody who didn't know how to handle their emotions, somebody who didn't know how to talk to people, somebody who had very bad trust issues, because when I was growing up, something happened that ended up making me having very bad trust issues. Like, I didn't trust anyone. Like, you had to earn my trust. And so forth. So basically, like, Discord's a bitch. Like, I would most time I do avoid it, but like, currently, one, my boyfriend is ghosting me, and it really sucks. I actually cried earlier. Very sad. But I really don't want pity. I don't want people to pity me. Barely anybody else talks to me. Most people offline, or just most people don't give a shit that I exist, so it's kind of fun. Usually I'll just sit here, play games, kinda, and if I have soda, I usually just sit there and drink my fucking sorrows away. Kinda. One of these days, I'm hoping when I'm kinda hoping when I turn 21, because then I'll start drinking. Cause I probably will become an alcoholic. That'll be fun, the day I become an alcoholic, because I'm a miserable shit. Well, I'm not too miserable, I'm just somewhat sad. But yeah, if you guys plan on doing Discord, I would just be cautious. Also, don't believe what other people say. Like, my one friend messaged me with a whole Discord thingy about how they were apparently closing it November 3rd, 2020. Don't believe that shit, because it is bullshit, and don't believe other things with with people who claim they're hackers, because half the time it's just fucking there to scare you. And like, last I checked, Discord is not as popular as Snapchat, Twitter, or Facebook. So for them to be like, "Oh yeah, we're taking it down," I'm like, barely anybody's on it. The only people who are on it are streamers, because streamers like to and I'm not trying to, I'm only flaming some, but I'm not trying to flame the others. But kind of should just stick to like something else other than Discord, because you meet the most dumb people. But that's my opinion, so I don't know. Also, I haven't slept, so yeah, I don't sleep, so that's fun, right? So that's all for Mio's story time. I'll probably think of another story. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. I'm tired. I haven't slept all day today.